So this video is going to focus on the 8th house and 8th house synastry and just what I know about 8th house from my personal perspective and a little bit of made up things. So to start out, the 8th house is the house of transformation. It is the house of shared resources. It is also the house of the occult, and it is ruled by Scorpio. It's a Scorpio house. So when you have planets that fall into a person's 8th house, the 8th house person, the house person, is more likely to be able to know the secrets of the planet person. So the planet person around the house person can feel exposed, and either vice versa. It can be like the planet person, can also bring out certain things like childhood traumas, and majority like it's a past life house. It can bring up past life issues off the bat with just meeting, laying eyes on each other. So it's a Scorpio house, and in this house you may find that you give each other this Scorpio stare. And it's like this stare where no words really have to be said. It's just really this really intense stare that you may have between each other if you have, especially a stellium, something like Mercury. If you have Mercury there, it can be telepathic communication. It can be mental. So it's like, I had this thing where like I shared Mercury in the 8th house with someone, and I couldn't even say that person's name, kid you not. If I say that person's name, that person would pop up in some way, or it'll be some type of synchronicity, like Beetlejuice, like that. Same thing with Sun in the 8th. You're going to have that communication. You're going to have those things that pop up and show that needs to be transformed, that's hidden, that you can't really hide from. Now, this is a very, like I said, psychic house. So aside of telepathy, we have a connection physically as well. It rules the sex organs. And these people, when they're around each other, it's like it's hard not to really want to touch each other. So also, it can be a very intense sexual connection that you have with someone when you have a bunch of planets in this house like Mars, Moon. Emotions can run high. Also, with the 8th house, it can deal with obsession and jealousy. But one thing that you learn through transformation through this house is that you have to drop your ego. You cannot possess a person, So with this house being transformation, it's like a lot of times too, this may not be an indicator of like, staying together. A lot of times, depending on other aspects, this relationship can be like a come and go kind of thing, where like, you may have an encounter with this person, and then maybe about like 8 years later or so, you have another encounter. And both encounters are something that really transform you. And then like, that's all it probably was ever supposed to be when you have that connection with the 8th house like that. So, I mentioned like the obsession, that kind of thing. On the flip side, it can be like in a crazy perspective, you can have like a stalker. A stalker. Yeah. This is like stalker type energy, or even like spiritually. So, you could be on the astrals with this person. Like I said, it also depends on the aspects and the planets, but how deep it falls with this being a spiritual house, a past life house, you're more than likely to have some type of metaphysical encounters. Almost so that I know in my experience, like I wonder why was this connection so intense? So intense, so it's like I wouldn't ask my ancestors. I had to find out, where this come from, where I come from, and just finding about like, different soul contracts. Like this type of contract, when you have eighth house planets, synastry with someone, and you want to figure out why it's binding, why I can't let go, this is not something that you can just kind of sage away, or how some people say even cut cords or cut ties. Like, this is something you're going to have to work through, pretty much. You have to, like, feel this transformation. Being with this person, you have many deaths. You feel like a part of you just kind of dies and is reborn. Let's see, with this placement, yeah, it's about like